IgA, which about 89% of it lines your gut tube from mouth to anus and anywhere you have a mucous membrane. It's your first defense. You got IgG, which is fast reacting. So like I said, someone gets a headache an hour and a half later, that's usually an IgG response. You got IgE, which is an acute allergic reaction. And you got IgM. Interesting, you can have an IgM response as much as a year later. You could eat a pizza today, not knowing you're gluten intolerant, and 1 year from now have a headache and feel like shit from a delayed IgM response. And that you can read Jonathan Brostoff and Linda Gamlin's work on food, on how the immune system works and food allergies and intolerance, and it goes into the immunoglobulins very well. So do you see that the secret is really paying attention, working with your body, eating clean food, keeping it simple, identifying what foods need to be taken out, leaving them out, which again encourages you to do what? Find new foods to eat. The problem is people get so screwed up. I've had people with 52 food intolerances and food allergies. So they're like, well, what the hell am I going to eat? And I say, well, guess what? This is how you do it. Now you get to go exploring. So now you go to the Mediterranean markets. Now you go to the Chinese markets. Now you go to the Hindu markets. You find all the foreign markets in town and you find out what are these neat vegetables that they're eating? What are these different species of fish? Now you try octopus for the first time, or you try sea urchin for the first time. You have to become explorative, and you find foods that your genes aren't used to eating that are available, so you can actually eat something without triggering an immune reaction. And if you're not careful, you can push yourself to the point where you're a medical case. And I won't even go into that because it's more technical and it requires, someone like me or someone skilled at so now you're like a cancer patient, basically. You have to be carefully monitored and carefully fed. And oftentimes you have to do things like using, organic whey protein that's had modifications made to it so that your body doesn't react to it. So I used to use one from Swiss Pharmaceutical, for example, that was turned into a hypoallergenic whey protein that could be used with people that are normally reactive to whey. But you're dealing with very expensive products that are hard to get a hold of. So the point here is not to let yourself get to the point where you need to be medically managed, because it's very expensive, time consuming, and it's stressful because you have to change the whole way you go about living your life. And it's very restrictive, and it's the sign that you didn't pay attention till way too late.